Hello, everybody. I'm Kent Culbertson with American AVK, and today I've got Randy Nelms here. He's our production manager, and Randy's been with us quite a while. How long have you been with AVK, Randy?
Well, first of all, thanks for inviting me in for this, Kent. I've been here right now. It's my second tour of duty, 25 years right now. I was here between 90 and 92 also for 3 years. So I have a grand total of 28 years of experience here at AVK.
Yeah. One
could say, is it 1 year, 28 times, or right, 28 years of experience? But I like to say 28 years of experience.
Yeah. So I've been here 21 years, and it's been a pleasure to work with Randy. He does an excellent job, and we'll just kind of go over a few of the things you do. But every gate valve must pass 5 pressure tests, and it's pretty amazing. Your crews consistently manufacture the valves, and the test failure rates are really, really low. How does your team consistently manufacture the gate valves at that quality level? Is it challenging every day, or at this point, do they just expect it?
Well, I think it's a combination of a few things. You know, of course, that they expect to perform at a high quality level. But it starts off, it's a great design valve.
Yeah.
You know, we have processes put in place to make sure that every valve is built the same way every single time. And
sure.
If that's being done properly and things come together and perform good, they pass the tests. You could say that there's the 5 pressure tests, but there's also visual.
Yeah.
You know,
good point.
They got to pass their visual inspections as well, and
yeah.
You know, any drippage, anything like that too. So I like to say, you know, the tester's not just the tester; it's the machine, but the actual tester's the person.
Sure.
So, and we try to make sure that person takes pride in every valve that they test.
And that's been consistent no matter who I'm interviewing, whether it's accounting or any department. It's always that personal level.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting to hear you put that into the testing perspective. So what's interesting from my point of view on the sales side, you know, we definitely have certain things that we gravitate to that we product-wise that maybe are more fun to sell than other products or something. Is there a gate valve that you prefer to build one size over another, or one configuration versus another? Is there something you like to see being built more than others? Or?
So when it comes to gate valves, it really doesn't matter what kind of valve it is. We like to build all the valves. What we like to see out in production is full pallet quantities.
Sure.
Okay, because when we build full pallet quantities, it makes us a lot more safer and efficient, less setups on the testers,
sure,
less packing,
right,
packing material. So when we're able to, let's say a 6-inch 24 pack,
sure,
you know, building that up takes a couple hours at the tester. That gives free time at the packaging area.
Sure.
Everything just becomes more efficient. When we're doing one valve per pallet, there's more costs associated with the packaging. Sure. There's more paperwork involved with every single valve.
Yep.
So there's a lot that goes into building valves like that.
Yeah.
So
I like that feedback because, you know, sometimes we'll have a distributor, they might like to order in smaller quantities and more frequently, or we'll have some that when they buy inventory, they buy more in bulk. And that's a good perspective on how it increases our efficiency in that regard.
Yeah.
And then, you know, monthly again on reports, test failure rates, the fire hydrant test failure rate from your crews is just incredibly low. So, you know, do you find it harder to build and test fire hydrants than a gate valve, or, you know, is it virtually about the same?
It is a bit harder for a hydrant. There's a lot more connections where you could see a water leak, more joints and gaskets and things of that nature, and so there's a bit more quality checks that go into building a hydrant. More training has to go into all that stuff. A lot more of we want the people to know the whys and what fors, the way we do the things the way we do, because these are, now we're talking life-saving devices, right?
Sure.
And we like to train that into every employee. You know, treat this hydrant like it's going to be in front of your grandkid's house someday.
Sure.
You know, you never know if this is going to put a fire out at a school or whatever.
Exactly.
So that's kind of how we preach that. But the answer to the question is, yeah, that they are a little bit harder because of all the different connections, the testing, the water pressure testing, the hydrostatic testing, so to speak, is more manual than the other valve testers. But again, the tester's the person, not the machine.
Right.
So, but it's part of the game. And, there was a day where, we only built hydrants just to sell the gate valves, but the times have turned. We like making these hydrants, and we like delivering them at a high level. So
along kind of like with the gate valve, is there a particular fire hydrant style that you like, or like I always am fascinated by the monitor elbow. Yeah. Is there something that when you see it being built, you go over there and go, yeah, man, that's cool? Or,
yeah. Well, yeah, there's so you mentioned monitor elbow. I like it because it's less monotonous than the day-to-day activity. There's more setup involved to them on the hydrant line. I could probably argue with the guys out there, that what their favorites are. But I do like the monitor elbow. I like the Houston ones where we have to powder coat and paint the whole thing because, when they're on the truckload, they're beautiful. It's a beautiful truckload.
Sure.
But if I had to pick a favorite, I like the AIS hydrants.
Yeah.
More work in this factory goes into an AIS hydrant, so more pride goes
good
from the factory,
Sure.
Goes into those. So, so from the pride factor, I think AIS has everything beat.
Good. Okay. Well, that's a great answer. Yeah. Now, the Series 816 butterfly valves, we introduced those a few years ago. AVK on a global scale, we had a lot of experience with butterfly valves, but it was new to American AVK. I sat in on a lot of meetings during the setup process as you got ready for it. The amount of work you had to do to retool the factory, get it ready for the production lines was phenomenal. And what's been most amazing to me about this is whether it's a single direction tested butterfly or bidirectional, we've had not one failure in the field yet. And, have you been surprised by how successful the production team has been at building that butterfly valve? We've never had one fail.
Am I surprised? No. Because I know the amount of work that goes into them. I know the design. Again, at the beginning process when we first started talking about building, I flew to Witterwitzel in the Netherlands twice, 2 separate occasions to train on the process, to see how all the work that was put into them, and they are quite tricky as far as the machining goes to get everything to line up, the bores and all that stuff, and the vulcanization. And when I was there, I learned that the vulcanization process, the amount of PSI that they put into that casting to make that that rubber vulcanized to that,
Sure.
that casting,
Yeah.
far exceeds what we do
Sure.
with our water PSI testing.
Right.
So I know when I get a valve up there, the casting integrity is already there.
Sure.
And all the quality checks that go into doing all the alignments, to make sure that that valve sits perfectly center in that valve is, it's quite the sight to see.
Yeah.
What they do to get that.
It's amazing to me. I just wanted to bring it up because it's been phenomenal to watch it go from zero to what it is today and how well your team's done.
Right. Now if 10 years ago when I first went and trained on it, if you had asked me, do you think we would never have a failure out in the field? I would probably say, oh, you're crazy.
Yeah.
But
right.
But it's a well-designed valve. I think that the industry's picking up on it now. If you could correct me if I'm wrong, but they've been used to those adjustable seat gasket and epoxy gaskets that are kind of inferior to this valve. Yeah. So I expect to see growth on this product line in the future.
I agree. So, and again, your team's done an incredible job with this. So everybody,
we're still growing in this department. We're talking redesign on the larger size test benches to get more throughput and stuff like that. So we're still growing there.
So any engineers or utilities or distributors that are watching, if you wanted to come out for a factory tour and kind of see what Randy's done with the butterflies, it's pretty impressive. So wanted to bring that all up. And then we meet weekly to kind of go over CCRs, and that can be any department, a sales department error. It can be a customer service question, shipping errors, or non-conforming products. It is constantly, again, amazing to me that with your department, and I don't know statistically, you may, but it's almost zero non-conforming products every month. And, I've already kind of brought this up, but, does your staff have pressure, or are you just sitting there, they come in and they know when they report to you, that's the mission every day and they just execute?
Well, I'm going to flip that on you. They don't report to me. I report to them. Okay. I'm their tool. I work for them. If they see something wrong or something quality related that they don't like, there is no repercussion for them reporting anything, even if it's their fault.
Sure.
We don't do write-ups for somebody that says, hey, I just produced 5 scraps.
Sure.
So it's a safe environment when it comes to that stuff. And when it comes to the CCR meetings and we go over issues, if we do come across an issue, it's within 10 minutes of that meeting being over, we're having a meeting about it on the floor. Even if it's something that was done maybe 2 years ago or something, and that person's not here any longer, we want to look at it. We want to read our what we call our camps instructions or our work instructions. We want to see if there's anything in there that could have caused it. And occasionally I'll try to recreate the problem. Sure. To see if, hey, is that really possible? Yeah. And that's not just for non-conforming products. We're looking at shipping errors. What do we do wrong there too? Communication errors. How can we improve communication? Things of that nature. But pressure.
Not so much.
Not so much pressure.
Yeah, it's amazing to me because with the serial number and the traceability of the products, and we just sat in a meeting every week. And like you say, it might have been something that was produced 10 or 20 years ago. We give you the serial number, and like you say, within 20, 30 minutes, you're all over it. You report back to us, and you say, we figured it out, it's this or this. Yeah. So it's impressive. Lastly, I think we'll just wrap it up with, every day you come in here, like you said, 28 years. After 28 years, what motivates you to come in here again every day and basically help AVK grow and your teammates succeed?
Okay, so after 28 years, we started off in a shed.
Yeah. Right.
pretty much here in America, in Fresno, and just being a part of growing from volume to safety to quality to the different product lines, just to have that knowledge and know where we were and where we are today and where we're going. Motivates me. It also motivates me. I'm pretty self-motivated anyway, but I feel obligated in my mind that we have people out there like you working hard, busting their butts, covering our butts, selling this stuff. So I feel motivated to deliver.
Sure.
And do it in a safe way, a quick way, a quality mindset, and
So, well, that's great. Obviously, anybody that's watching can tell we're pretty fortunate that after the first 3-year stint, you came back and did the second tour. So we're lucky to have you, and thank you.
Thank you. We're lucky to have you too, Kent.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
And that's it.